YouTube, and a warm welcome to the New to Crypto channel. My name is Ian, and as always, I'm your host. Now don't forget, as always, scammers in the comments below. Don't give them any of your financial information or any of that kind of thing. And let's move on to the main topic of today. So yesterday, I did a mammoth stream yesterday. Really long one. It was like 3.5 hours or something silly like that. And the only reason it stopped is because I got a bit flummoxed with all the things going on and my whole computer froze and everything went. So I do apologise to anyone who was in the stream who all of a sudden just saw me disappear off the face of the earth and couldn't work out why. But that would be the reason. My whole computer just decided to stop. But anyway, I digress. So in that stream, I talked about a few different things with different people and stuff, and I thought I'd give you a quick rundown here so you don't have to go and look at the whole 3-hour stream, because obviously it's not really interesting to watch a stream if you're not taking part in it. So basically, yeah, one of the main things I was talking about yesterday, or one of the things we were talking about between us, apart from the whole China cryptocurrency issue, because that actually happened while we were on the stream and people were talking about it, and that is catalysts. So we'll talk about the China thing in just a second, but first of all, let's talk about catalysts, because a lot of people are worrying about the fact that the Ecomi keeps on going down, and it has been going down. Incidentally, we had a massive pump last night, and it went up like almost 0.05 even, so half a cent. It almost went up to half a cent, which was absolutely awesome. And now it's dropped again today, and I guess that's due to the whole Bitcoin thing as well. But you know, we'll see what happens. But basically, it had a pump then, and then it's dropped again. But the nice thing was that it had a pump, and there didn't seem to be any catalyst for that. We were trying to figure out what the catalyst was for it, and I couldn't see one at all. Okay, so there was a tweet. Indikalia did a tweet, or Indicala, whatever his name is, did a tweet about Ecomi. So maybe that was what pushed it. But then we looked at it, and it only had about 82 likes. So therefore, for it to be that much of a massive pump with that, I don't know. But who knows? Anyway, the tweet he said about was something that David Yu said on his Instagram, which I can't seem to find that tweet anymore, or the on the Instagram profile. So I don't know if it's been deleted, or you know, I hope it wasn't made up in the first place. But basically, someone asked about the exchanges and said, when are the exchanges? And David Yu confirmed yes, in May, essentially. So therefore, obviously, we're still in the month of May. So hopefully, an exchange coming very, very soon. But that brings me on to the subject of catalysts, and to me, the only way any crypto goes up or goes down is when there's a catalyst involved. You know, it's all very well doing the what's it called, the charts, the technical analysis, but unless there's a catalyst involved as well at the same time, then not everything is going to work with technical analysis. And the catalysts are sort of outside factors, essentially. So let's have a look at some of the catalysts that could project Ecomi up very, very quickly. So the first one, obviously, is the official burn. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'll just very quickly go over the official burn. Whenever you buy an NFT in the Veve app, then 100%, minus app fees, of your Ecomi gets burnt completely. Okay, so it comes out and it gets burnt out the reserve wallet. Okay, so bear that in mind. That comes out the reserve wallet only. And then when you do a transaction in the marketplace, 2.5% of that, because the rest of it essentially gets sent to the other person in exchange for their NFT, so 2.5% of that actually gets burnt as well, because that was a transaction fee that you had to pay separately. So 2.5% of that, so whatever you bought the NFT for, 2.5% of that gets burnt as well. So that's a constant burn in the market, which is why if you check on the different websites and stuff, which I'll link in the comments below, you can see why there's burns every day, even though there's not a drop, that kind of thing. And it's because it's coming from the market in general. Now, not only does that Ecomi burn, because that Ecomi is only burning from the reserve, remember that. So, and the reserve's quite big, so it's going to take a while to get down. But also, 10% of your transaction when you buy a brand new NFT also goes to a buyback fund. So therefore, you can then use, they will then use that money to buy back from the exchange to top up the reserve wallet. But that hasn't started happening yet. So obviously, as soon as that actually starts happening, the burns, obviously, in the reserve wallet, they're definitely happening. We can see them happening, and you can follow them on them websites below. But the actual buybacks haven't started happening yet. So far, they've got a wallet full of a lot of money where they've been taking 10% from every NFT transaction, and that is currently sitting somewhere we don't know about, obviously, and that is going to be used to start doing buybacks at some point. So that's one catalyst that will automatically make the price rise, because obviously when they do buybacks on that, if there's a jump in price, other people will see that, and then the FOMO begins and everyone starts getting in. So that's catalyst number one. The second catalyst is Ecomi burns themselves, or unofficial Ecomi to gem burns. Now, the reason I say it's unofficial is because they don't put this out as it's going to burn the Omi, but we've kind of realised from doing our own research, and I've done quite a few different videos on this, that this is definitely going to happen. So what happens is when you buy Omi from the exchange, you then put it into the gems to Omi converter, which I've been told only takes a couple of minutes when it's up and running. And then once that's done, you've got your gems, essentially. And then when you spend those gems on an NFT, that means 100% of that Omi is burnt. So just like when you buy it with fiat and then spend, you get the majority of it burnt. But the difference is that this Omi doesn't go anywhere near the reserve wallet, which means it comes directly off the exchange and is therefore burnt at the same time. So therefore, that is another catalyst that when that Omi to gems is put in place, then it means that the price can also go up for that reason. So what other reasons are there? Well, firstly, obviously you've got the new exchanges. Now, we're expecting between 1 and 4 exchanges in the next few months, and apparently, according to David Yu's Instagram post the other day, and the Indicator tweet, then it means, well, he just tweeted that post, but as I said, I couldn't find that post, so somebody can maybe let me know if it still exists, or maybe he made it up, I'm not sure which, but either way, it's supposed to come in May, and we've been told many times that it will come in May, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we can have that. Obviously, when we have a new exchange listed, or when we have a new exchange announced, then it means that the price will start rising. And also, when it gets to the exchange, it means that the price should carry on going because more people are able to buy it. Obviously, there is always the buy the rumours, sell the news, so it's possible that some people will buy it, so that then when it gets to the exchange it's higher, so when other people buy it and they then dump on them and then it goes lower. But, you know, normally, even if that happens, which it generally does, then it means that it doesn't always go lower than what it was before. So therefore, we still get a little bit of a pump on the price anyway. Hopefully, but we never know. It's just the way it is. So what else is there? You've got new licenses as well. Don't forget, they've got over 100 licenses, and not all of those licenses have been announced. And some of them are going to be bigger than the ones that they've already announced so far. Now, bear in mind that even though we've had quite a few drops, we've had Batman again. We're having Batman again this week, and now that's 5 times Batman that we've had. And we've also had 2 of the ponies, you know, like the Mermicornos and the Unicornos and all that kind of thing. So therefore, we have not seen anything yet in what's actually coming. Of course, we don't know about all the other licenses that they've got in their pocket that they either can't tell us about or just haven't told us about yet. So therefore, each one of those licenses, when they're done, or when they're announced, are going to be a catalyst for a rise in Omi. And finally, we've got the unseen drops as well. Now, the unseen drops are essentially drops that we've not seen before. So even if we know about Batman, for instance, which we do, when they come out with a first appearance character, that again causes excitement, and that in turn normally makes the price rise. So it's very possible that the catalyst for this rise yesterday was because of the fact that people actually saw the drop that was coming out, because there was a lot of people doing videos and stuff like that to show what was actually coming. And David Yu himself put this video on his Instagram about the Batman drop, which I will be showing you in just a few moments' time. But there you go. Anyway, that's a few of the catalysts that I think can make the price of Omi rise, and I don't think we have to be worried about it being low at the moment. And bear in mind that the lower it is every time there's a drop, it means that more Omi gets burnt from the official burn, essentially. And although that doesn't affect the price because it goes from the reserve, it still does make that price in the reserve go down, or make the amount of Omi in the reserve go down, which means that they'll have to start the buybacks quicker. And bear in mind, every time you buy an NFT anyway, 10% actually goes to the buyback fund. So therefore, keeping it low is not actually as bad as you may think. It's only really bad for when you're looking at it and you see that it's going down and you think, uh-oh, it's getting to where I bought in, or maybe you're losing money. But essentially, you're not really losing money. You're just not, you're seeing it as losing money, but you're only losing when you actually sell it. So if you just hold on to it, if you believe in the project, which many people do, then it means that you're not actually losing anything. You're just psychologically looking at it and saying, I've just lost X amount of money, when in fact you haven't lost it. So you've only lost it when you actually cash out, which obviously you're probably not going to do when it gets down to that much, because you only put in, you know, what you can afford to lose, essentially, in theory. So anyway, that's my little thing about the catalyst. Let's move over to the main screen, shall we, or the other screen, so we can see what's going on in the world today. So this happened yesterday when I was on my my stream as well, and people were talking about this, and it was the China has banned cryptocurrency. And that's what everyone was saying. China's banned cryptocurrency is going to be an amazing, you know, amazingly bad thing, and blah, blah, blah. And it turned out to be bad, obviously, because Bitcoin dipped massively. But from what I can gather, China didn't actually ban it. all they did was just reiterate, confirming the bans that they talked about before. So really nothing changed, apart from they just retweeted it or rebanned it, so to speak, if that makes any sense. I don't think they changed much in it, from what I can gather. And especially from this article here that says the 3 entities published a note Tuesday confirming original bans that were implemented in 2013 and 2017. So basically, they just gave a reminder that those bans existed. So nothing's really changed. In fact, individual people can still hold cryptocurrency. It's just that actual banks and institutions are not allowed to, and they're not allowed to implement any ways for individual people or anyone to be able to trade in cryptocurrencies and that kind of thing. So really, nothing much has changed from what I can gather. But obviously, that creates a lot of FUD in the market, and that is why Bitcoin went crazy. And we lost a lot. And every single thing on my portfolio today is down, and I'm sure you're in the same situation. But this isn't the first time that China has banned cryptocurrency. In fact, I saw a tweet from one of the Dogecoin inventors who actually listed all the times it's banned it. But for instance, in 2017, when it was in the bull market, they actually banned cryptocurrency then, and it was at the start, or not the start, but it was just before a massive rise. So basically, what happened is they banned cryptocurrency, and it dropped by 40%. Bitcoin itself dropped by 40%, and then I don't know why, but there was obviously some sort of catalyst, or maybe people realised that it wasn't a thing, and it just went absolutely mental, and it just went up and up and up, and that's when we got our all-time high of Bitcoin before the crash. So therefore, is it possible that we're looking at the start of an all-time Bitcoin high, and it's just going to keep going up and up and up? Who knows? Nobody ever does. That's the trouble. So let's move on to the next thing, because here's the thing that even though it's still on the China side of things, and this is Hong Kong's Bitcoin Association, basically they sort of confirmed that anyway, and they said in a tweet in response to China's ban, they said, for those who are new to Bitcoin, it's customary for the People's Bank of China to ban Bitcoin at least once in a bull cycle. So that gives you the kind of idea of what people are feeling about it, and how I'm guessing a lot of new investors probably dump their Bitcoin. And as I was talking about on my live stream as well, I watched a few YouTube videos saying things like, oh, I've lost all my money in cryptocurrency, because I was just sort of seeing how people lost, and I realised that a lot of these people were talking about Bitcoin when it got to its all-time high. And they sold it when it got lower. So basically they bought in high, and then when it got lower they got worried, and then they sold it. And this was way back like few years ago, to be honest, and they were saying, oh my god, Bitcoin was at 3,000 and now it's not anymore, and I've lost all my life savings. Now, if you think, if they'd just held on until now, all their Bitcoin that they had, how much money they would have now. So you haven't lost until you've sold. So admittedly, if you need that money for things, then maybe you have lost out in the long run. But if you don't, then just hold on. That's the best thing you can do, unless of course it's a complete scam and something happens to the coin itself, and then it gets pulled away, and then obviously that's not a great time to hold on. But I trust in Omi that it's not a scam. We've got the development team who literally are out there, and we know them. It's not like you go to some other websites where they're hidden behind things or whatever. These guys are actually out there. You can actually find out all of the business information. We know all the history of them and everything like that. So it's not like we're getting into something where we're going to have a rug pull within the first couple of highs or something, or from what I can gather anyway. But obviously you never know, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the case. Anyway, so let's have a look here. Let's move on to the next thing, shall we? This was interesting. This is the Bitcoin chart, obviously. You can see that it went down all the way to roughly 30,000, okay? And the thing is that it started coming back up again on its own. So it didn't need, any tweets or anything like that from anyone, or any real catalyst, because of the fact that just the dip on its own makes people buy, obviously. So, read into the whole China thing what you will, but it's kind of ironic that literally it dropped straight away, and then it started going back up again. And then round about here where that arrow is, that's where a lovely tweet came out from Elon Musk himself saying Tesla has diamond hands. So not only did he cause some of the crash right the way back, he's now trying to say that Tesla is never going to sell and they've got diamond hands and, all that kind of thing. So it's kind of interesting to me, but, it is what it is. But as you can see, that hasn't really affected the price massively at the time when he tweeted. It may well do a little bit later on, but who cares? As long as it starts going up, I don't care if it affects the price or not. Just as long as he doesn't tweet again about bad things, so that way it goes back down again. But anyway, so that's the Bitcoin China scenario for you, or for my sort of views on it. Whether I'm right or wrong, let me know in the comments below what you think of it as well. We were sort of discussing it on the stream yesterday, and we didn't see it as a big problem. problem really, because of what was happening. But then obviously this massive drop has not been good. But it's only been 40%, which 40% is a lot, obviously. But at the same time, it was 40% last time before the all-time highs. So hopefully we're on our way up, and we're going to keep going up, and that would be awesome. So let's look at the next thing, shall we? Okay, this is interesting. I saw this on a post. I think it was in Reddit or somewhere like that. I don't know what they were talking about. I think they were literally just putting up that they enjoyed their dragon thing. But I just looked at the picture, and just the angle that they've got it at, it just looks really, really pornographic, I guess is the best way to put it. So I just thought that kind of tickled me, the fact that just looking at it from this angle, it looks a little bit odd. But anyway, let's move on, shall we, quickly. Here we go. This is something that came out from Ecomi, Veve collecting 2.0. That's the obviously the main Twitter, and that is and Ecomi have retweeted it, basically to have your voice heard. If you want to have your voice heard about what's going on and get your questions answered and all that kind of thing, jump into a Discord tomorrow and chat with the communications manager, Reese. So Reese is going to be in there actually chatting to people in real life, in real time, essentially. So therefore you can jump in there. So rather than just watching him as an interview or thing, you can maybe get your questions answered. Now, obviously, it depends on what that question is. If you ask him a question that he can't actually say because of NDA, then you're going to find the answer is going to be, I can't answer because of an NDA. So you've wasted your question. So make sure you get your questions in that you know the possibility to be answered, that you've got a burning desire to know, and not just silly ones like when Pokemon, because it's probably not going to answer any of those. But anyway, let's move on, shall we? Okay, so this is the whole Batman drop. Obviously, we had a tweet the other day from Ecomi, or we had the thing pop out saying that they were going to do Batman again. A lot of people were a bit like, oh no, I'm not sure about Batman, whether I want it again. And obviously, we had some of the videos that I did a while back, where I actually looked at some of the photos in the galleries and stuff. And a few other YouTubers did this as well. And we saw the Batman Who Laughs. We saw him there quite a few times in their gallery, or in their vault, shall we say, the Veve vault itself, along with the Batmobile as well. Now, the Batmobile hasn't come out this time, but I guess it was kind of only a matter of time before Batman Who Laughs was out. And as you can see from this video, which I'm going to play you now, here we go. Hopefully that's not too... Oh, let me turn it down, because I'm not sure how that's going to come out and the sound, so therefore... but as you can see, we've got the Robin. This is Series 5, incidentally, for those who don't know, which obviously you can see there from the thing. It looks really cool. There's the Batman Who Laughs. There's Robin. There's another Batman. So there's about 3 different Batmans. The Batman Who Laughs, which essentially is kind of Batman. And then... no, 4 in total, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are there. And you can see that Batman Who Laughs, we were speculating all the time because we saw like a claw in the photo. We couldn't work out what it was. And then we saw in another video where they went round the vault and we actually saw that. It was a few of you guys who pointed out it was Batman Who Laughs, and here he is now finally in his thing. And I'm going to show you in a moment the actual drop details and everything. So this is the actual thing if you've not seen it before. And we're going to go and have a look at the drop details. It's pretty cool. These are getting very cinematic, aren't they? These what do you call it that they're doing now? These adverts. I guess all these adverts you'll be seeing on on YouTube and all that kind of thing. Basically, wherever Google ads are, YouTube ads, you'll be seeing all these ones. So they're looking really, really cool. So well done to the people that did these. Essentially, I think it really draws you in and really makes you want to go and grab one. Of course, they're all going to be sold out within like 10-15 minutes anyway, no matter what people say about all the stuff. Whoopsie daisy, let's move on. So, okay, let's go to the drop details then. With the drop details. Now, probably by the time this comes out, you all would have seen this anyway if you ran to it. If you haven't, then here it is here. This is my little take on it, so to speak. Much awaited 5th series of DC's Black and White drops. Batman drops on Thursday the 20th, so that is tomorrow, 8 a.m. So that's 5 o'clock my time. Incidentally, I will be doing a live on that time as well. So if you want to join me for the live, then feel free to come on in. We'll be doing a competition as well. We had Bob and Matthew, who very kindly donated a few NFTs last time we were on the live. So we'll be doing a competition for one of those. I want to spread them out a bit because I don't I don't get that many donations of NFTs and that, unlike a lot of other YouTubers. So therefore, I'll only be giving away the one of them. But if you'd like to come along and support the live, then feel free to do that. We'll be chatting and seeing what's going on and all that kind of stuff. And also, we've got a little section there, so you can join in the live if you want to. All you have to do is click on the link and you can actually join in and have a chat. And we've had a few people in the past. We've had Poor Man Printing, we've had Crypto Maniac, and a few other people joining in just to say hello as well. So if you'd like to come in and say hello, then feel free to do that. You can do it after the drop or while the drop's going on. It's honestly up to you. But either way, I will be there tomorrow doing a live stream for you from about 20 minutes before the drop, give or take. So that way we're all set and ready to go and we don't have any technical issues, which I like to seem to have. So anyway, so let's have a look at the Series 5 and see what we got here. So Batman Black and White Series 5, number 89 is the Batman Black and White brings the live interpretations of the world's greatest detective and select Gotham 60 characters from the world-renowned comics. So first up, this is interesting, this, because I thought that Batman Who Laughs was definitely going to be one of the ultra rares, because normally they like to put the the crazy ones that look awesome as the ultra rares rather than just the normal ones. But they've sort of switched tactics this time, which I think is awesome, because I think a lot of people are going to want this Batman Who Laughs. And you can see Batman Who Laughs, ripped from the pages of the Dark Knight's metal, comes the Batman Who Laughs, a striking version of the Cape Crusader who makes nightmares shudder. This is designed by Greg Capullo. I hope I'm pronouncing that name wrong. If wrong, right, even if not, then do apologise for that. But this is the Batman Who Laughs. Anyway, this is the one. As I said, there was a lot of speculation about this. He looks really cool, actually. Very cool, that one. This is number 89. It's $39.99. So this is a common. So this is what I mean by they've switched it around, because you would have thought that would have been the ultra rare. I believe it's the first appearance. It doesn't actually say there. I'm guessing it is, unless they class him as Batman. I guess they do, because he's called Batman Who Laughs, but. Isn't it like a different version of it? Well, anyway, who knows? But the point is that, so $39.99, 16,800 of those, so hopefully everyone will get one of those who wants one. And I see that being worth a bit in the future. Even though it's not the ultra rare, but then maybe I could be wrong. Who knows with any of these NFTs. The one thing I will say that's going to be interesting is everyone going to dive in for that one straight away to make sure they get one because it's cool, or are they going to go for the other Batmans like the ultra rare, which is coming up in a bit, just in case, because it's ultra rare and it might be worth some more in the future, essentially. So let's have a look. 71 Batman, the distinctive style of top Batman illustrated in 1960s, Carmine Infantino brings Batman to life with his iconic digital collectible statue of the Cape Crusader. Now, bear in mind, these are all based on real statues as well, so maybe what a good idea is to do a little search on the internet. I should have done this before telling you about it, and then you can actually see what they're really worth, the statues in real life as well, because that's kind of interesting to look at some of them, believe me. So that one's an uncommon, 12,800 of those at 50 quid. Then you've got Robin. That's an interesting Robin for sure. People from the pages of Batman and Robin comes a very popular boy wonder Batman Black and White digital collectible statue designed by artist Frank Quitely. So there you go. 67 Robin, 20th of May, 60 quid for that one, 6,800 of them. So not many editions actually. For that one, and that one is a rare, I believe. So a rare, 6,800 of them, and then finally we have got the main one, the big Kahuna, the ultra rare, $89.99, the same price as always, 3,800 of them. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not really interested in that one. I don't like the look of it. It looks like he's trying to have a poo. That's what it looks like. But then, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people love it. I don't know. But I personally would have preferred to have the Batman Who Laughs as the ultra rare. And then I would have been like, oh my God, I want to get the ultra rare. Now, I'm not that bothered about that one. The only reason to get that one for me is to do a swap or a thing. But then having said that, I've been wrong about the Batmans in the past. I didn't buy a Rizzo when I could have done. There was loads of them in the shop when I got in and I didn't bother to buy one. And I definitely regret that now. So maybe I'm going to try for this one anyway, just purely because of the fact it's an ultra rare, and generally these things tend to be worth a lot more if there's less of them, essentially. In the future, essentially. So there you go. So that's the Batman drop anyway. That's pretty much it from me for today's video. Hopefully you've got some useful information out of it, and if not, probably had a lot of fun watching me talk rubbish, basically. But anyway, as I said, live stream tomorrow, so feel free to join us for that. We can have a chat, you can join us in the link and all that kind of stuff. But thank you very much for joining me. As always, don't take this as financial or investment advice in any way, shape or form. I'll see you in the drop tomorrow. Thank you very much. As always, as I said, don't take it as financial advice because I'm new to crypto. Thanks very much. Bye-bye for now. See you tomorrow.